Hello, this lesson on PNPM workspaces is part of the AWS Serverless Web Development course. For direct links to watch all the YouTube lessons, just visit the course portal at richardbraycourses.co.uk, which also provide links to the source code repos for every lesson. Hello, so just to recap from the last lesson, we created a couple of fictitious applications, app1 and app2, and each had its own package.json file, which we can see here and here. Now, obviously, the main point of a package.json file is to add NPM packages to them. So there's a couple of ways we can do that. The first would be to manually just edit the file and add some dependencies like this. Or alternatively, I can use a command to add one. I can say PNPM, and I want to target this particular package. So I'll say -f for filter, and then I give the application name, application2, and then I'd say add React at 19.2.0. And we'll see that it's added that to here too. Now, if I do a full PNPM install, that'll ensure that all of the package.jsons are read and all the libraries that are in them are accounted for. And we can now see, after I've done that, that there are node modules folders in the app1 and app2 and the root. Now, the really interesting thing is if I look inside node modules, we'll see that, if I need to widen this, it has a React folder, and this node modules here also has a React folder. Now, you would be forgiven for thinking these are separate folders, but actually they're just symbolic links to a React folder somewhere else on my machine. I've drawn a graphic to try to show this. Here's the root, here's UI, app1 and app2. And the node modules folder is a symbolic link to a machine-wide shared package store which has a React library in it. And this is the really big selling point of PNPM, that libraries are only installed on your machine once, and then if they're used multiple times, as I say, there are just symbolic links to them. Okay, let's say I wanted to add TypeScript in. I could do it manually. Okay, I'm just going to copy something in here. So I'll add this one manually like this, and the alternative would be to type a command as I did before. So I'd say PNPM -f application2, and this time -d for its developer dependency, and then add TypeScript at which version I do, 5.9.3. And we can see that's added here as well. And just for good measure, I'll do PNPM install again, just to make sure everything's up to date. And now this needs updating. Here we are. I just needed to refresh it over here. And now we can see that they're in node modules. There's a React and a TypeScript over here. And there's a node modules that's got a React and a TypeScript over here. And of course, these TypeScripts are also just symbolic links. And then run TypeScript by adding a script. So let's just do that. I could say TypeScript TS is going to run TSC -- version. And I could add that into both of these. And then I could do add TypeScript into here. I could say TS app1 is going to do PNPM -f, and this time it'll be 1 TS, and I can copy this down and have TS tap2 is going to run TypeScript in the second package.json, and then all I need to do is type prun ts app1, and we'll see TypeScript runs with version 5.9.3, and of course app2 will produce exactly the same thing. Okay, so I think we've covered just about everything you need to know for PNPM workspaces, so I will bring this lesson to a close, and I'll see you in the next.